people don't get it. We're supposed to be set apart, brother. You're right, brother. We're supposed to be separate, set apart, live differently. Okay, they eat pork, we don't eat pork. The woman wear pants, a woman should be wearing pants. Point blank period. Let's read this thing. He said, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verses 3. He said, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friend he shall rejoice of him. There we go. That's why you got to make sure you're teaching your children righteously. Exactly, brother. Right? All praise to the Most High. You put it out there, Genesis 25 and 23. Right? And we're going to go over there. This is the book of Genesis chapter 25 and verses 23. Because this was already said from the beginning. To who? To Rebecca. Set apart. We are not going to get along. So you're out there. I don't know what you're looking for. You're wasting your time, your energy. Instead of repenting and keeping the commandment of the Most High, you're launching and you're going off. And you're talking about you want to make friends. Listen, the Most High don't want it to be like that. The Most High doesn't want us to be friends. The Most High is against it. Okay? The Most High is against it. Let me read it to you. As the brother posted, let me read it. This is the book of Genesis chapter 25. And let's read from verse 22 actually. We'll read it from 22. Let's read it. So we'll give understanding to all of you out there that's in a Christian church where you don't get understanding. You don't know what the Most High requires of you. You don't understand what the Bible is saying. You want to trash the Bible of the Most High just to bring forth your weakness, your lie. Let me show it to you. We'll show it to you. This is the book of Genesis chapter 25 and verses 21. He said, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Most High made her to be barren for a purpose. So the Most High want to see. The Most High was just trying them. The Most High just trying Isaac and his wife to see is Isaac is going to walk after his father Abraham. Okay. Is Rebecca is going to walk after his mother, foremother, like Sarah. The Most High got to try every one of us. So the Most High want to try them to see, will they come to me when I make her barren? Will the husband come unto me? Will the wife come unto me? And that the Spirit will telling our brother and sister. We got to understand where we got issue. We got to go to the Most High first. Let us go pray and fast and ask the Most High. We're going through this, Lord. If we're sinning, what is the issue? Give us understanding. Heal us. Deliver us. That's the first thing we got to be doing. Not rush quick. You go to the doctor. That means you don't believe in the Most High. That means you don't have faith in the Most High. You don't believe that the word of the Most High can heal you. You don't believe that the Most High can heal you through his angel, Gabriel, Michael, and the list goes on and on. Raphael. Keep in mind. A little thing happened, great, let's go to the hospital. Boom, a little thing, boom. No. That means you don't believe in the Most High. That means you still got a lot of work you got to do. You got to be faithful. You trust in the Most High. You believe. You keep in the command. Ask the Most High. The Most High, everything belongs to the Most High. You get hit by cancer. As long as you keep in the command, pray to the Most High, ask the Most High. The Most High will heal you. Now, if you don't believe and you don't keep the commandment, hey, you can't get it. Right? So let's read it. He said, she was barren and the Lord was entreated of him. You see? And Rebecca, his wife, conceived. So the brother trying to get his wife, his rib, pregnant. And she can't get pregnant. So the brother understood. He said, you know what I got to do? Let me go to the Most High. Let me go to the God of my forefather. He does everything. He went to the Most High. And the Most High appreciated that. And the Most High gave unto him. Okay? The Most High blessed him. The Most High gave unto him. Let's continue. He said, and the children struggled together within her. So guess what? The baby, they are not born yet. They see being formed. The Most High forming them. And already in the womb, in the belly of the mother Rebecca, they were already fighting. They were struggling. They already punching each other, throwing legs. So just think about that. The kids are not born yet, and they were already fighting. Imagine. That's the Most High. That's the will of the Most High. That verses alone is enough for Black Lives Matter to vanish. For our people to stop marching, stop wasting their time, to be set apart and return to the Most High and keep the commandment. Just that verses alone. Because it's heavy when I first read it, when the Most High woke me up and I read that and I have understanding to the Holy Spirit. I'm like, whoa, this is deep. This is way too deep. It's beyond understanding for any simple of our people. No, you got to be super spiritual to understand. This is a heavy precept right here. Heavy precept. He said, well, and the children struggled together with the head. So they were already fighting, punching each other. Boom, uppercut, boom, boom. They were getting each other all over the place, right? Watch this. And he said, and she said, so this, the test of the wife, the Most High just test the father by making his wife barren. Then the man Isaac, he went to the Most High. He revealed to the Most High as his forefather did it. He went to the Most High. He prayed, asked the Most High, listen, bless me, allow me to have children. And the Most High did it. Then the Most High said, you know what? I'm going to put your wife to test. I'm going to try your wife now. I want to see. That's where the Most High moved the spirit, and the baby, they start fighting. They start struggling, punching each other, kicking each other, leg over leg. Imagine that. Because the Most High is trying the wife to see how will Rebecca react. Will Rebecca go quick to the hospital? Oh my goodness, I'm fighting labor. Or maybe, I'm in labor. Oh my God, I'm about to give birth, blah, blah, blah. And then they go off. That's the spirit of a woman. This is quick. They lunch. They go off. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm having pain. Oh my goodness, maybe the baby, or maybe I have force. I lost my baby. Blah, blah. And then, no, the Most High is trying you. Relax, chill out, calm down, pray, fast, relax, wait. Maybe when it continues to be persistent, okay, and it doesn't stop within a day, hey, listen, then you can refer to other things. But as soon as you start, oh, blah, 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 then you run to the freaking gynecologist. Oh, blah, 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 you run to this doctor. Blah, blah. No, that's foolishness right there. That means you don't believe in the Most High, okay? That means you are not in the truth yet. Because when you're in the truth, when things happen to you, you wait on the Most High, you pray, you call on the Most High. He's the one that brings it upon you. And he's the only one that can take it up from you. If you never knew it, go read in the book of Deuteronomy 32 and read verse 37 all the way down through 41. Read it. Only the Most High can do that. Yeah, they have no faith at all, bro. No faith whatsoever. Our people don't have faith in the Most High. Listen, they do not have faith in the Most High, bro. You're right. Listen, I was on the brink to die. Like literally, my own case. This happened to me like more than a year ago. I was on the brink to die. From nowhere, I was bewitched. Like they sent on me witchcraft. I can't get up. I was not sick, nothing. I woke up in the morning and I was keeping the Shabbat of the Most High. The next thing I noticed, I can't walk. I can't do anything. I'm just on the floor. Like, listen, I was in a pain, bro. And hey, I called my brother. They start freaking out. Hey, take him to the hospital. Oh. I said, no, man, I ain't going to the hospital. If I need to die, let me die here. I don't want to go to the hospital. I believe in, I trust in the Most High to heal me. Whatsoever die, the Most High. Listen, that thing lasted more than 3 hours. I was in a pain. I can't move. I can't do anything. And I said, hey, it's my time. I started exhorting my brother on the phone. I'm telling her, hey, listen, make sure you keep the commandment. Take the Lord to a young brother. Guess what? After 3 hours, couple of young brother I called. There's a brother. He's in the truth. I called the brother. Right? The brother and his wife, they're on the way to my place. Right? And I called another young brother with his young brother. Right? Before they reached to my house, I kept on calling on the Most High, praying. Listen, bro, listen. Kept on praying on the Most High, calling on the Most High. I get healed, bro. Listen, I get healed. The Most High deliver all those evil spirits. Like this, bro. Man, you don't have faith, man. The Most High is not with you, man. And people don't get, the Most High have done way too much healing to me. Listen, way too much healing. I can't even tell everything. I cannot. I just pray. Regardless of whatever I go through, I just pray and ask the Most High, deliver me. The Most High just deliver me, bro. Listen, me, personally, that's me. That's the spirit the Most High gave me. Listen, anything, I just pray and fast. I ask the Most High. It's you do everything, Lord. I rely on you. I ain't got nobody. Help me out. That's it, bro. Man. That's right, bro. That's right. Our people don't have faithless generation. Faithless. They don't believe in anything. Little they run to. Look at this sister. The Most High is trying the sister. Look, and he say, and the children struggle within together with the head. And she say, if it be so, why am I that? And she went to inquire of the Lord. She passed the test. Boom. You see? So Rebecca is a prophetess because she passed the test. She didn't lunch. She didn't go off. She didn't say, oh my goodness, why am I pregnant? Oh, bro, oh Lord, I don't want no baby anymore. Why you make me? No. She went and inquired of the Lord. She prayed and she fasted. She prayed and she fasted. She referred to the Most High. She didn't run to the Christian church. She didn't run to the hospital. Anyway, there was no hospital at that time. She didn't rush, oh, let me go see the midwife. Maybe I'm about to go into labor. No. Don't jump. You're jumping off. You're going ahead of the Most High. The Most High will leave you alone. You're jumping ahead of the Most High. He'll forget you. He'll leave you on your weakness and you're going to get destroyed. You're going to fall into evil. So many things because you don't trust the Most High. You lack faith. Faithless. So this mother, what did he do? She stayed strong. She went and inquired of the Most High. She went and prayed and fast. asked the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakada. She said, Lord Yahweh, what's going on? Please have mercy. Deliver me. Do me. Help me out, man. Help me. I'm your servant. I'm going through pain. You know what's going on. Hey, guess what? She passed the test. She passed the test, man. Sister out there, please, brother, don't rush. Do not rush. Whatsoever the Most High bring upon you, take it cheerfully. Pray fast. Ask the Most High. Ask the Most High. He control all things. Satan can't do anything unless the Most High allow him to do it. Unless the Most High allow him to do it. When Satan trying to kill Job, what happened? The Most High told him, take everything he want, but do not touch him. Understand that? Satan cannot operate unless the Most High allow him to do it. Right? Let's continue to say, and the Lord said unto her, now, since she's been obedient and she passed the test of the Most High said, you know what? I'm going to give her the prophecy. I'm going to give it to her. This was revealed unto Rebekah, not unto Isaac. The Most High did not reveal it to Isaac. No. The Most High only revealed it to the mother. Why? Because the mother was obedient. She passed the exam. She passed the test. She did not sin. Okay? He said, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. So we are already enemy from the beginning. 2 nations. Okay? Understand that? 2 nations are in thy womb. Point blank, period. Enemy from day one. Okay? So you can't make friends. You can't do anything about it. Nothing you can do about it. You're just wasting your time. You can march all you want. You can protest. They're going to kill more. Esau is going to kill more. The more you protest, the more you move the spirit, and Esau is going to kill more. Until you return unto the Most High. Until you return to the Most High, you keep the commandment, the Most High will kill more. This is just the beginning, man. This is just the beginning. This is nothing yet. Esau, especially lately, they be buying a lot of guns. They be buying a lot of weapons, this Edomite. A lot of weapons they be buying. They're getting ready. Some of them talking about civil war all over the places. They're talking about civil war all over the places. Because they know. That's what they're about. They're about bloodshed. Bloodshed. That's what Esau know. Esau ain't know any better. And the bank, they make money. They all make money. They're all making money. The Wall Street, you know, when they're shooting here, the gun prices goes up. And, you know, the business, oh, bleed. Right? Exactly. No, bro. Exactly. What military, bro? I'm telling you. They forced me to join that thing so many times, bro. They done everything to guide me join that thing. I said, no, man, I ain't joining. I ain't joining, buddy. Okay? So the Most High told, he said, 2 nations in that womb, and 2 manner of people. 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bow. That's what the Most High said. That's how the Most High said it. Understand that. The Most High didn't make it that we're going to be fine, whole hand. We're always going to get along. No. The Most High set it up that we're going to be separate, set apart, point blank, period. That's it. Understand that. Never to be, let's hold hand. We're going to be friends. No, the Most High didn't make it to be like that. Okay? And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. That's why when they see her, they're scared. Because physically, spiritually, and naturally, the Most High bless us with that thing. We naturally and spiritually, we're strong people. Naturally, physically, spiritually, we're strong people. Super strong people. That's why they're scared. Because in the slavery time, what were they doing? What were they doing? What are they doing? 20 of them, they'll go on one slave, and get what do? They'll kill the slave. They'll kill our people. Because they know if they go one by one, they'll be taken down. They know Judah, Benjamin, Levi, will take them down one by one. They know Esau know very well. So Esau say, listen, don't do that. They'll finish you. You got to go in number. You got to assault them in number. 3, 4, 5 at the same time. You knock him down, they're easy. Then you go one by one, they'll take you down. They know. He said, and the elder shall serve the younger. So understand that. So Esau was never set on the earth to do good or righteous. No, Esau was set on the earth to do evil. 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 Let me read you this. I'm going to show you something from this book. This book, I love it. It's a very, very graphical book, but guess what? It's beautiful. I know it's sad to read it, but guess what? It's loaded with information, right? What is this? The American Holocaust, okay? Okay, the conquest of the New World, the American Holocaust. And I'm going to go right here. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to go right here on page 151. Page 151, okay? Page 151, okay? Page 151. And I'm going to read. The title is Sex, Race, and Holy War. That ain't no holy war. Okay, let's read what he said. Let's read this thing. Let me read it. He said, of course, there also were the unique horror of the African slave trade. So when he talking about African slave trade, he's not talking about the Hammer. He's talking about those that we call today the Negro, the one that we call the Beninese, the Nigerian, the Ghanaian, the Togolese, the Sierra Leonese, the Liberian, the Congolese, the Cameroonese. Okay, those are the people that are called today here in America, African American. They're the one. The people you call African American today, or you call them black, guess where did they came from mainly? They came from Benin, which is the land of Judah mainly. That's the kingdom of Judah, Benin. Today is known as Benin today. It used to be called Dahomey. 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 Da. Like you say Judah. Dahomey. That means what? In what? In the belly of the king. The belly of the king. Dahomey. Dahomey. In the, because mainly Benin known for kings. My grandfather, he was a king. He was called the Black King. My grandfather, he was called the Black King from my dad's side. From my mother's side too, the father of my mother, he's a king too. Until this very last day, some of his lineage, they're still king in Benin. If you go till this very last day, just like they're king with no value. They're king with no value, but they're still king until this very last day. Benin is known for that, and that's where I was born and raised up. It's the land known as the land of Judah. Later it's known as Wida. Later we call it Weda. Or it's all end up with what? A-H. You always see that Weda, D-A-H, Judah. Wida. Understand that? Right? So, these people that we call African American today, African American, they were the one that were taken from countries like Cameroon, Benin, Nigeria, Togo, Senegal, and the list goes on and on and on, right? West Africa, a part of Central Africa, a part from, I'll say, South Africa. Because we got some other brother living down there. Still, because we scattered throughout the fuck on this soil. That's what the prophecy said, right? Okay, so let's continue. He said, during the course of which at least 30 million and possibly as many as 40 million to 60 million Africans were killed. Who killed them? Esau, Edom. How? He threw them in the Atlantic Ocean. On the way from West Africa, a lot of forefathers couldn't handle it. They were built up as a sardine thing. They died on high number. Right? Let's see. He said, were killed, most of them in the prime of their lives. Understand that? Who did that? It's Esau. Before they even had a chance to begin working as a human chattel on plantation in the Indies and the America. I didn't write this book. Did I write this book? I did not. I'm just reading it. This is a fact. So they're telling you literally over 60 million of the so-called Negro, Nigerian, Beninese, Togolese, Ghanaian, Ivory Coast, Senegal, the list goes on. They were literally killed before even reaching America and the Indies, the West Indies, like Jamaica, Haiti, Barbados, Mexico. Before they reached, all this, they were already killed. How were they killed? Because they were put together as a sardine chain. Some were naked. They ain't got no clothing. Pee on themselves. They defecate on each other. Thing like horrible thing. Understand that? Who did that? Esau, Edom. He was already doing this in the beginning. This is in the 1400, 1500. Understand that? Let's continue reading. Let's read it. He said, there is the unique subject of this book. The total, let's keep in mind, the total extermination of many American Indians who did that. It's not the Chinese. The Chinese didn't do that. What race of people did that? The Caucasian. Those that claim that came from Europe. The so-called white people, they did that. This is just fact. Let me highlight it. I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to put it on the camera. Let me highlight it. I'm going to highlight it quick. Let me just put something right there. Let's just highlight it. We're going to highlight it and we're going to put it there. So it can be, so that they won't be like, oh, well, he's just making up things. No, I'm not making up anything. I ain't making up anything. Okay, we're going to read it. We're going to show it to you. We're going to show it onto you and you're going to see. Okay, we're going to highlight it. Bear with me. I'm going to highlight it and we're going to expose it. We're going to expose it. Definitely we will expose it. That's what our duty is to do. is to expose weakness. When we see oppression and evil, that's our duty. That's what we're supposed to do. Okay? Let's see. Okay? Let me go right here. Before my camera. Okay, there we go. For the audience on YouTube, right? Okay. There we go. You see that? All right? From the book called The American Holocaust. Okay? From the book called The American Holocaust. Let me put it like this. So the brother and sister, they can see. Okay? The brother and the sister, they can see. Okay? That's the highlighted part. Okay? That's the highlighted part. Let's read it. It said, before they even had a chance to begin working as human chattel on plantation in the Indies and the Americas. And finally, there is the unique subject of this book, the total extermination of many American Indian people and the near extermination of others in number that eventually total close to 100 million. Whew, unbelievable. That's how much Native Indian they killed. This is how much Native Indian they killed. Check it out. Look it up. There we go. This is how much Native Indian they kill. So, what are you looking for, man? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? What are you surprised for? That Esau is shooting here, shooting there. Esau killing 8 people here, 10 people today, 25 over there. That's nothing. That's their job on the earth. That's what Esau is supposed to be doing. It's your job, your duty to discipline your children. Nurture them in the law, the commandment, the statute, the judgment. Don't wait for the government. Don't believe what they tell you. They're lying. They don't care about your baby, okay? The government don't care about your baby. It's all hypocrisy. They don't tell you the truth. Your baby, your children are God-given. God-given. The government didn't give you baby, okay? If that was the case, guess what? A lot of them can't have kids and they be crying and collecting baby. It's the government that does what? Child trafficking mainly. They're the one that take child from parents from Africa, from Latin America, from all these places. They're the one that do that. They're the one that do that. They do child trafficking. It's the government, yes. It's the government, the number one that do child trafficking. And what child do they trafficking? Mostly it's a black baby. Mostly they love to do black baby, Latino baby. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. They'll take your baby and give it to homosexual. So they'll turn your baby from a lady, from being a girl to a boy. All the trans, all type of nonsense, feeling foolish. And guess what? The most I kill your baby, and your baby go to hell, and you go to hell too. Because you trust in the man, you trust in the government to raise up your children. You can't do that. Don't do that. Do not. Let's read it. He said, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friend he shall rejoice of him. Though his father died, so keep in mind, that's what Paul was talking about. He said, the end is a peaceable fruit that never ceases. Why? That's why he's reading here. Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead. You see? You see? Because he remembered everything he was taught, the law, the commandment, the statute, the judgment, everything. Understand that? Right? Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he had left one behind him that is like him. So you want to raise up your children as you. You make sure they fear the Most High. They're keeping the commandment. They're lining up with the Most High. They're not going off, lunching, none of those things. Okay? He said, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. You see? He was not sorrowful because he knew his son will continue. Where do we learn that from? Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. We're going to prove it. Let's prove it. Let's go right here. Because it's nothing new under the sun. It's nothing new under the sun. It's just that our people don't believe in the Most High. They don't believe in the Most High. They believe only in Esau. Esau, Edom. They believe in man. We'll show you. You want to believe in man? Hey, it's up to you, buddy. But we'll show you that's the Most High. Right? We'll show you that's the Most High. Okay. We're going to show you that's the Most High. Let's go in the book of 1 Kings. Okay. Let's go in the book of 1 Kings. Okay. This is the book of 1 Kings. Let's read it. Let's read this. This I'm reading in Sirach. I'm going to the book of First King. This is the book of First King, chapter 2, and let's read from verses 1. Right? This is a beautiful precept right here for what I'm reading right here. He said, because let me read it. He said, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. You see, let's use an example of who? King David. This is the book of First King, chapter 2, and verses 1. Now, the days of David drew nigh that he should die. And his child Solomon his son, saying, I go away all the earth. Be thou strong therefore, and shew thyself a man. You see, and keep the charge of the Lord thy power. That's all. He didn't say be a Christian, be a Muslim, bow down to the cross, bow down. No. He said what? And keep the charge of the Lord. What is the charge of the Lord? The Lord, the commandment. Remember the Sabbath to keep it. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not commit adultery. These are my high holy feast day. Remember to keep them. Thou shalt not eat unclean food. The woman shall not use that which pertaineth to a man. And the list goes on. Right? He said, and keep the charge of the Lord thy power to walk in his way. And that's what we got to be doing from now on, brother and sister. We got to make sure we're walking according to the Lord, the commandment of the Most High. Not according to what the government say. No, the government, who owns the government? Esau, Edom. Does Esau care about the so-called blacks, Latino, and Native Indian? No. They don't. If they care, then why did they slaughter the Native Indian? Why? Why did they kill the Native Indian? Why? Why did they exterminate over 90%? Over 90% of the Native Indian. Why? Why? And today you want to tell me they care? Because you are in your supposedly satanic calendar, Gregorian calendar 2021. You're in your so-called 21st century. No, man, I don't believe that. That's a lie right there. That's deception right there. That's foolishness. You took my forefathers as a slave from west coast of Africa and killed them and murdered them and did all type of evil you want until this very last day. And all of a sudden, you say you care about me? You care about my brother? You care about my brother's children? No, I don't believe that. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's listen, that's the spirit of Cain, as the brother put it. As the king Jacob Israel said earlier, the king said, that's the spirit of Cain right there. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. We are set apart people. Holy nation. Okay? Holy nation set apart. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. And that's why our children being killed every day. Because we want to rely on the wicked. What did David say to his son? He said to walk in his way, to keep his statutes. What did I read earlier in the beginning of this video, this lesson? We read it in the book of what? Deuteronomy chapter 4, and we read verses 4 or 5 all the way down through 7 or 9 or 10. Even all the way down to 11. Keep in mind. He said to keep his statutes, his commandment, his judgment, and his testimony as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whatsoever thou turnest thyself. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah. Kwam yashala, kwam yashala, kwam yashala. That's all. That's all. And we're in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30. Let me read it again. He said, while he lived, this is Sirach, chapter 30, and verse 5. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemy. And that's why they don't want. Esau does not want you to teach your children that he's an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Zebulun, Issachar, Naphtali. Esau does not want that. Because Esau knows that if you teach your children that they're Israelite, that they're Jew, then guess what? They won't be able to oppress them. They won't be able to fool them. They won't be able to deceive them. They won't be able to kill them like the way they kill us. They understand that, oh yeah, there will be a warrior. They will wake up and then, boom, the power that God is going to defend them. Esau understand those things. He know those things are spiritual things. Esau understand. We're the only one we don't understand. We don't want to stay. We don't want to take it onto the Most High. Because watch this. He said, well, he left behind him an avenger against his enemy, and one that shall require kindness to his friend. There we go. There we go. You see, let me read it. He said, he that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wound. And that's what happened. Now, the brother and the sister, what are they doing? They're binding up the wound right now. They're binding up the wound right now. That's what's happening. Let's see. What are they doing? There we go. Now, they're binding up the wound right now. That's what they're doing right now. They're binding up the wound right now. Right? Let's take a look at another one. There we go. This is this Edomite that killed the brother. This is the Edomite, this devil that killed the brother in, what was it again? Let me see. That killed the brother in Minnesota. You see? He killed the brother over what? Over what? Over what? Freaking something that's being hanged. He just say, Shalom King, right? Right? Over what? Over air freshener. Over air freshener. He killed a young brother, 20 years old. You see? Now, guess what? The parent, the family, they gotta bind up the wound. You see? Bind up his wound. Why? Because you don't want to discipline your children as the Most High say. You see? We thank the Most High that this devil, he didn't kill the brother. We thank the Most High. We thank the Most High, the Lord Yahweh, that he come the spirit of this young brother. That's why you got to discipline your children. There's a lot of demons in the uniform with gun out there, man. Patrolling in the car, free gas, free coffee from 7-Eleven. They receive everything free with our tax money. Our tax money. I'm going to say it again. With our tax money, there's a lot of demons, a lot of devils out there. They were trained to kill you. They were not trained to make friends with you. It's just that you don't understand because you lack wisdom. Repent and keep the commandment of the Most High. Otherwise, this will finish you. Okay? This will finish you. Now, guess what? You got to bind up the wound. And that's what's happened. You see? Killing our people. Kill young brother, 20 years old. This devil. This devil right here. This devil. You see this? This is the thing. This devil right here. They just give them gun, car, and they start, and they're all proud, cocky thing like, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, man. This is for your destruction. These people are not your friend. Okay? Okay? If they're enemy with the Most High, what make you believe that they're your friend? Okay, let's continue. He said, he that maketh too much of his son or his daughter, okay, shall bind up his wound, and his bowel will be trouble at every cry. And that's what's happening right now. Now everybody's crying, they're complaining, oh, he killed a 30 year. Listen, discipline your children. Discipline them according to the Bible. According to the Bible, the Lord, the commandment of the Most High. That's what Esau is scared of right now. Right now, as the brother waking up on the highway, on the byway, in every corner, we're waking up, we're pushing for this word. This is what is scaring this Edomite. Esau, they're scared right now that the so-called black, that they have been oppressing the so-called native Indian, the so-called Latino. We're waking up on a high number. That's what they're scared of right now. That's the main thing right now. Y'all don't understand because there's a lot of distraction out there now. What they're plotting right now is to